The American embassy in Juba, South Sudan, is hosting a celebration after successfully conducting the country's first presidential election. A reporter asks Richard Crowley, Gabriel Olds, who tells him off the record that he is just 2 seconds away from banging a hot worker, Hannah Parsons, Ashley Diane Curry, but she manages to escape the embassy. On her journey home, Hannah and the Sudanese local are stopped at a toll booth and attacked. Jason Hayes, David Dorianis sits next to Sonny, AJ Buckley in the mess hall. He shows Sonny some photos, stating that he was helping Alana, Michaela McManus clear up Molly and Nate's, Daniel Gillies' house. He claims that being photographed with 2 dead men and a dead lady, their interpreter's wife, does not make them feel good. Sonny tells Jason that it's time to clear out Nate's cage and let go of his secrets. Sonny thinks it's time to tear the bandage. Clay Spencer, Max Theriot sits with Brian, Jay Hayden and discusses his OCD. Adam, Michael Irby summons Clay, stating he has a guest. Outside, Stella, Alona Tal claims to be in the neighborhood. She says she's holding a party this weekend and asks if he may invite Brian. Stella tells Clay it's good to see him in his environment and that she'll see him at the party. Jason opens Nate's cage, sits down, and discovers a message from Nate that reads, "So, what are you going to do? My luck has run out. As far as this stuff goes, burn it and see you, Chief." He discovers some false passport images and documents, and Jason wonders what Nate was up to. Mandy Ellis, Jessica Pear notifies the SEAL squad that Hannah and her driver were slain outside the US Embassy the night before. Lieutenant Commander Eric Blackburn, Judd Lawman says he wants them to go in and evacuate the embassy, but when the team considers sending in a few hundred Marines, Blackburn says the parties are opposed because it would appear that they have lost control. While aboard the plane, Lisa Davis, Tony Trucks discusses the safety aspects of their cars when Blackburn informs them that they are diverting to a military airfield, where he will work with the Marines in case they need to leave Sudan quickly. Mandy discusses Doyle, and Crowley serves as the acting ambassador for the time being. They are concerned that the situation will shift dramatically once they arrive. As the crew goes by car, they hear on the news how dangerous the situation is. Lawrence Doyle greets them but is unable to tell them how long they would be safe due to the country's newness. He praises Jason for his presence and informs him that he has a crew of 3 and that there are 157 Americans spread over the country, and it will take a miracle to get everyone out. He wants Crowley to make the evacuation obligatory. Ray Perry, Neil Brown Jr. is preparing in the room as the building begins to be besieged by protesters. Jason informs Crowley that he is accountable for everything, and he boasts about his authority. Crowley said they can't leave every time there's a demonstration, and he's not ready to take down the flag yet. He mocks Jason's viewpoint, claiming that he does not want people to feel unsafe walking freely on Juba's streets. He believes Jason's role is to keep things running smoothly, but Jason claims they have 5 shooters and will be unable to prevent a civil war. Crowley tries to stop Jason and Doyle from rescuing American teachers, but they depart anyhow. Brian and Clay are heading for Stella's party when Brian asks whether he knows Stella's pals. He responds no, which Brian thinks is definitely a mistake. The reporter approaches Ray and asks whether it troubles him to be in a location like this when everyone else who looks like him is on the other end of his pistol. Ray orders him to go. Ray claims that the massive white males behind him are also his brothers, and that the people outside will hate them anyway since they are constantly looking for someone to blame. As they get to the school, Mandy notifies Jason that there has been no modification to the evacuation order. Sonny throws a smoke bomb to scare off the rebels as the squad enters the American school in pursuit of the instructors inside. They discover them in the library, and Doyle grabs them while informing Jason Crowley that he has an assignment for them to remove 2 American aid workers. At Stella's party, Clay and Brian meet Evan, who is inebriated and refers to them as snipers. Evan is abusing Stella and chastising her for altering her opinions on the military. As they get to the school, Mandy informs Jason that the evacuation order has not been modified. Sonny tosses a smoke bomb to frighten off the rebels as the team enters the American school in search of the teachers. They uncover them in the library, and Doyle takes them while informing Jason Crowley that he has assigned him to remove 2 American aid workers. At Stella's party, Clay and Brian encounter Evan, who is intoxicated and refers to them as snipers. Evan is bashing Stella and chastising her for changing her views on the military. Eric confesses that he informed Crowley that they would not be going, and that they are just there on his father's instructions. Eric and Samir claim Hannah was a great friend, and Sonny offers to hogtie and remove them from the town. Back at the embassy, everyone is instructed to destroy all secret documents. Mandy is upset to find that Crowley sent them on a false errand, and they are now a couple hours away and approaching dusk. Jason assures her that they will return shortly. Mandy storms into Crowley's office, demanding that he order the evacuation and accusing him of endangering people's lives. She also adds that he dispatched his best guys to save a significant campaign donor's son. Mandy threatens to burn him if he does not order an emergency evacuation right away. Crowley notifies Mr. Assistant Secretary that the situation has grown untenable, and he orders an evacuation of Juba. Jason and the squad are driving back when they notice that all of the soldiers, guards have died, and there is a gang of individuals demanding them to leave. The crew opens fire, killing some of the bandits while ramming past the roadblock and avoiding more gunfire. They try to drive through the city's streets, and he dispatches Ray, stating the rebels have set up barricades and they need his assistance getting out of there. Davis instructs Crowley to submit an official request so that the ground commander does not face consequences for breaching the chain of command. Davis explains how to eliminate of all computer data and paper. Every street the crew goes along, people cry at them to go home. They only have 50 meters to go, but Ray can't assist them since there is excessive smoke for a vision. Ray warns Davis that they will be walled in, and all they can do is wait while the militia surrounds the car. After many stressful minutes, they are able to escape the maze. Brian wakes up Clay and tells him they need to go. Brian quips that his shirt never fails, and he was lucky last night. Ray instructs Lisa to go to the convoy, and he will be right behind her. Brian and Clay are both late, but they quickly realize they will be jumping day and night for the next few hours. Jason informs Ray that they will not make it to the embassy before the convoy departs and will meet them at the airport. Ray warns them that this will leave them traveling blind through the city. As Ray prepares to leave the embassy, he discovers the reporter lying on the ground, having been struck in the head with a rock. Davis shouts out for Ray, who does not respond, and stares at Mandy, who is being taken to a van by another soldier. Lisa returns and sees Ray covering the reporter's head. She picks up a person who reminds her to remember that it has to be the demonstrators or them, and it will not be them. When they arrive outside and see that the caravan has departed without them, Ray informs Lisa that they must return inside. Davis emails Jason, claiming Crowley ordered the convoy out early and allowed her and Ray to remain inside. Jason responds that they are on their way. Jason informs them that they are across the street from the embassy. He instructs Davis to bring Ray to the control panel, after which he offers Davis a job. Davis is on the roof with the Sudan flag. She lowers the American flag and raises the Sudanese flag as everyone celebrates. Ray activates a button, allowing all rebels to enter the embassy. It works, and the rear gate is free of rebels. Ray and Davis lead the injured reporter down the ramp, and the car arrives just as additional rebels approach the back. They continue to make their way through the streets, until arriving at the airport, where Crowley and the Americans sit. Sonny marches aggressively at Crowley, but is stopped from hitting him. Jason tosses him the wrapped American flag, explaining that he likely left it by accident, and walks away. Brian informs Clay that he likes Stella and warns him not to screw things up, and Clay agrees to try not to. The reporter praises Ray for protecting him and admits he was mistaken about him. Clay and his colleagues glance up and only see 5 canopies. Since the 6th is just half, medics are instructed to stand by. Clay watches anxiously as the recruit cuts away and they prepare for reserve deployment. The jumper drops, and the jumper's name is still unknown. Clay watches as each jumper removes their mask, and he understands it was Brian.